Hey there, and welcome to today's edition of 10 TV Plus. I'm your host, meteorologist Dylan Robichaud, and it is almost Christmas. It is the eve of Christmas Day, and you can see as we look outside, there will be millions of Americans that do get a white Christmas this holiday season, from Maine all the way out across the northern plains up towards northern Minnesota. Here across the Buckeye State, no snow in the metro area, so a little bit of a bummer if you are looking forward to a white Christmas. Just not in the cards as we head into this year. But there will be some folks, maybe some folks that you even know, friends and family, that could be getting a white Christmas this year, with some snow actually coming down on Christmas Eve. Now, this is tomorrow, and this system will actually impact us, but it's not going to be bringing in snow. It's going to be bringing in rain as we kind of catch the tail end of that low. Where will the snow be? Upper Great Lakes, parts of upstate New York, up to the Adirondacks and the Catskills, and up towards the Green Mountains of Vermont. That's where they're going to be looking at some pretty good snowfall heading into Christmas Eve, and then eventually heading into Christmas Day. This moves on out of here, but I just wanted to share with you the regional outlook because, you know what, you might have to travel this holiday season, so I wanted you to be aware of that. And then things are drying back up as we head into tomorrow for many of you. We have a little bit of a snow drought here across the metro area so far. Hey, slim pickings in the snowfall department, a half of an inch here in Columbus. Normal, we should be about 2.5 inches for this time of the year. So, last year we had a snow drought. This year we also have a snow drought. And if you can't get the snow naturally, what do? You make it. This is a live look from Mad River Mountain here in Logan County. Man, these snow guns have been out here blasting snow for the last 6 to 8 hours or so. And it takes days. It actually takes weeks to actually get that snow to really compact and get some good accumulations. I'm a little bit concerned as we move the camera because this weekend, as I'll share with you in a few minutes, we're looking at temperatures here in the middle end of the 50s. So it's going to be hard to make snow and to, really get the ski season underway without the cold weather, which we got to enjoy this past weekend. So we'll be talking about that at a later time. The lifts were going earlier today. That's no longer the case as they moved the camera back over. Got a few more snow guns going out there in the distance. We had our first day of winter a few days ago on December the 21st. Sunrise today is at 7:51 in the morning. Sunset's at 5:11. Our day length now is 9 hours and 20 minutes. So we actually had the shortest day of the year on Saturday. Now we're gaining a few extra minutes every single day. And the interesting thing as we talk about the winter solstice here is that we actually had our earliest sunset here much earlier. We had our earliest sunset on December the 7th. Today, sun goes down 5:11 p.m. As we head out 2 weeks, January the 6th at 5:22 p.m. And if you don't like it when the sun goes down that early in the day, just wait a few weeks. Already by January the 13th, the sun goes down at 5:29 p.m. in the evening hours, so that should be pretty good. Like I just mentioned, earliest sunset, 5:09 p.m. That is actually on December the 7th, so that happened a couple weeks ago. The shortest day in terms of least daylight happened this past Saturday, and that was just a little bit over 9 hours of daylight. And then our latest sunrise happens on January the 4th, and that will be at 7:53 in the morning. So we're losing daylight in the morning, but we're gaining daylight in the evening. And it just so happens we're gaining a little bit more daylight in the evening, which is why we've already had our least amount of daylight out there. And the reason why there's a displacement between when the latest sunrise happens and the earliest sunset is because of what we call this Parhelion. So now as we head into January, we're actually getting closer to the sun. In the wintertime, we're about 91.4 million miles away. In the summertime, that distance is about 94 million miles. As we get closer to the sun, what happens? Objects that get closer to a big mass, they rotate faster. So our elliptical orbit around the sun is actually quicker in the winter months. And as a result, solar noon is later in the day, which is why your sunrise will happen later in the day. Sunsets will be a little bit later as well. And so that's pretty interesting as we head closer to January, as we have that perihelion early in the month. Today, though, biggest concern, Going to be some rain coming in late this evening. This is not going to be a washout. If you have to travel, I'm not worried about much today because it's not really happening in the daytime hours. I think more so than anything, it'll be happening tonight when you're probably sleeping. Here's a look at that system right now. You can kind of pick out, it's very vague, but you can see this upper level spin, a little bit of a spin up towards Minneapolis and the Twin Cities. And as we put on the surface map, you can see we got this warm front right here. Now, I'm only pointing out this warm front right here because that's going to push in some milder air for the Buckeye State over the next few days. This cold front right here, though, is going to be the driving force behind some of the showers that we're seeing out there tonight. As we go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer to home, we've got a lot of cloud cover out there right now. The clouds are going to get thicker as we head through the day. You may get a few peaks of sunshine early this afternoon. As we head towards the afternoon or late this afternoon into the evening, the clouds are going to be very thick out there. So we'll start you off here at about 3 o'clock today. Again, a few holes in the clouds. It's going to be mostly cloudy, though, throughout the day. Here comes that next cold front rolling into the area at 10 o'clock. Initially, there's just enough cold air that you might get a few flakes, not in the metro area, but I'm thinking north across these northern counties. See that pink and the purple right there. That's where we are looking at some rain and snow kind of mixing in together. But this will not be a snow event here in the metro area. It'll be all rain as we head into tonight. 1 o'clock in the morning, some pretty good downpours moving on through. Just enough cold air that we're keeping it snow up here. So if you are traveling to northeast Ohio, there could be some snow to contend with. For the rest of us, so just looking at some rain. By Christmas Eve, by the time that you wake up on Christmas Eve, that's long gone. And things are going to be in pretty good shape as we head into the afternoon hours. This is not a washout, not by any stretch of the imagination. We're thinking less than 1/10 of an inch. There will be a few towns. Look down here, MacArthur and Logan, New Lexington. You might get a little bit more, maybe 13/100ths of an inch. That's pretty much it. In the metro, we're going only about 9/100ths of an inch when all is said and done. And then as you head off to the east, again, there could be some few snowflakes mixing in as you get closer to Coshocton and Mount Vernon and all those places, which are a little bit higher in elevation. The temperatures are pretty steady. Slow and steady wins the race, and that will be the trend for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here's what I'm thinking, though. We're into the 40s. I don't know about you. I'll take the 40s any day over the 20s that we had this weekend. So things are going to be warming up and much nicer into the coming days. Christmas Eve, though, not looking too bad. Not exactly the white Christmas that we were hoping for. I think Rudolph might need to use his nose a little bit because we're going to have that low visibility with those low clouds. But we will be looking at some patchy drizzle. Nothing major that's going to disrupt travel. So that's good if you do have to hit the roadways or heading off to do any long road trips tomorrow. You should be in pretty good shape for that. As we go back in time over Christmas, folks, these records go back to the 1800s. So we've got a pretty good pool of data for the Columbus area. Look at this right here. The warmest Christmas, you have to go back to the 1800s. 64 degrees. That was the daytime high in Columbus. Almost 100 years later, what is that, about 90 years later, the coldest Christmas, -12. That too was recorded in Columbus. We've never seen any major catastrophic snow events on Christmas, but back in 1890, we had 7 inches. Now, look down here, this curve, this is our December warming trend from 1970 to this actually goes all the way out to 2017. The average December temperature is 2.3 degrees warmer now than it was back in the 1970s. As we look at the next few days, you know, we've had our fair share of cold. The average temperature, about 40 degrees for this time of the year. Wouldn't it have been nice if that Buckeye game were this weekend? Because look at these daytime highs in the middle end of the 50s. Sunday, 55 degrees, 54 here on Saturday. Would have been nice to have that outdoor football game this weekend with how much warmer it's going to be. But then look at this, average high is 40 every single day. We'll be well above that as we head into the next week. The reason why things were just so doggone cold this weekend was because of this big dip in the upper level jet stream. Again, the jet stream is basically a fast-moving ribbon of air up high in the atmosphere, and it can control where the cold air is and where the warm air sets up. What's happening this week, though, is that now we're going to have what we call a ridge building on in. So then that's going to be forcing the jet stream way up towards Canada, we are back into the 50s late week going into the weekend. I'm thinking about 50 on Friday and then the middle end of the 50s heading into the upcoming weekend. And in fact, look at this right here. The Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day outlook has us above average heading into the next week to week and a half or so, and above average rainfall as well. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. 7-day forecast shows that we will have rain late tonight, a stray shower possible as we head into Christmas, and then as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Even though it's going to be warming up, the trade-off, though, with the warmer temperatures is that it's going to be very cloudy, very dreary this weekend. And in fact, we don't have any sunshine on the 7-day forecast whatsoever. That does it for me here on 10 TV Plus, but please tune in to Jerry Martz tonight on 10 TV starting at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock.